I worked in human resources, office management for as long as I can remember. Funny, we tend to think that something is a temporary step, leading to something greater. Next thing you know, you've spent almost 30 years filing paperwork and taking direction from people who see you as little more than a tool. Right after high school, I served 6 years in the Air Force. Being a personnel specialist seemed like a safe job, even if it wasn't exactly what I saw myself doing long term. However, it gave me the chance to leave my hometown, serve my country, and potentially let me see the world. Instead, I spent all 6 years in Southern California, which still isn't a bad place to be. After my service in the Air Force, I moved to Idaho and found myself continuing to do what I perceived as safe office work. In the blink of an eye, so much happened in my life. Work became not much more than a way to ensure that bills were paid and food was on the table. The idea of pursuing something else had to take a backseat. Sure, I daydreamed a million times about doing something else, but actually doing it? I did the same thing for 30 years. The idea of starting over with some new venture felt daunting. One conversation, however, completely changed everything for me. It was at a friend's Halloween party. I was mingling with a couple that I didn't know. All of a sudden, something profound happened. The man asked me, "What do you do for work?" And I replied, "Oh, HR and office management." He said, "Do you like it?" "No," I said, and immediately thought, "Oh, we're saying that out loud now?" I wasn't happy. I hated my job. Up to that point, I had never actually said it. Saying it out loud cemented that I needed a change. The man told me that I would be a great realtor. He was a real estate broker, and working in real estate had never even crossed my mind. But something about it struck me as something I should look into. When I shared with my close circle of family and friends, they all said the exact same thing. "Oh my God, you would be perfect for that." I immediately enrolled in real estate school and went all in. Over the course of a year, I learned a lot. 6 months in, I left the brokerage that I had started with and moved over to Amherst, Madison. Nick saw potential in me and knew I would make a great addition to his already successful team. 1 year after getting my license, I was able to say goodbye to my 8-to-5 job, and I don't know who was happier when I quit, Nick or myself. My father had just passed away, and I think that put so much into perspective for me. Life is short, and I needed to say goodbye to the past 3 decades of not allowing myself to feel proud of myself. My friends have commented that I seem to be aging backwards. This is what joy looks like. People who have met me in the past 7 years would not recognize the woman I used to be when I was so unhappy. To say that I am thankful for Amherst Madison would be putting it lightly. Going from being an employee who would get in trouble for socializing to a successful real estate broker whose strength is communication with her people has changed my life in a million ways. I used to rent a unit at a duplex. Now, not only do I own my own home, but I also own a duplex. I never thought I'd become an investor and own properties. That seemed so far out of reach for me. I used to fall asleep thinking about how I would spend the money if I won the lottery. That seemed like the only way I would ever have any sort of financial freedom, even though the odds are astronomical. Although my sons are adults now, I get to be the mom I've always wanted to be, not just by providing, but by setting the example of potential and success to my kids. That's a huge win for anyone. And it all came down to an honest conversation at a cocktail party. Admitting to myself that I deserved more and realizing my potential changed everything for me. We all have it in us to do amazing things, and I think you owe it to yourself to take that chance. I never think about winning the lottery now. I already have.